therapists and actors to speak on our issues. No, we need scholars, we need organizers, we need people that actually know what the hell they're talking about. My brother Killer Mike gets it because he says he uses his big platform to mobilize. He has a big platform in the entertainment space. So yes, we need entertainers and actors as allies, but you need to pass the mic to those that actually know what the hell they're talking about. Because a lot of these actors, entertainers, song and dancers, I need you to be songing and dancing, and then I need you to pass the mic on over to somebody that actually is on the ground organizing. So no, I reject the fact that we need more of them. We need more of you, and we need them to be okay with passing the mic to somebody that's grassroots, that's actually working in the community. Last night I did a Twitter space for 11 hours and 25 minutes. Damn. 11 hours and 25 minutes. I wasn't here chasing behind Ray J, no disrespect to our brother Ray J, or Dennis Rodman, or any of the celebrities that was here. I was with the grassroots for 11 hours and 25 minutes, sorting out these issues on how conservatives and liberals, where we align and where we differ. That's what's important to me. Shout out to the Push the Line family in the audience. That's what's important to me. Not sitting up here chasing behind the celebrities because they get it twisted and they sell it. Speak up for the actors. Speak up for the actors. Speak up for the actors.
She catches some strays up here.
I got for the actors and entertainers, and I take your point. You're absolutely right. The problem with that is that many of them are not educated. They're not. They get the mic and they fumble at the ball and or whatever, and they should be passing it on. And most of the time, I think they do. I think often, I was called to a meeting with the Hollywood Bureau of the NAACP, and they asked how could they support more performers and people who are in the business. And I said, well, it would be a surprise if you told them that you did. Often we brought in as props, right next to somebody who's gotten murdered in the community, but no one's ever asked them, how are they doing? What type of financial sort of help or education do they need? So you have people like Prince and Michael Jackson in Houston, and people dying all the time. And we act like they're disposable, like, oh, we're sad. Are you kidding? These are some of the crowning achievements of world history. And they have voices that translate across the globe, whether we like it or not. You just need to educate them and put them in a position that if they ever are past the mic, they're able to say something that's deliberate or intentional and can move progress, and certainly give the mic over to someone who does know what they're talking about. Having said that, I spent a lot of time with Reverend Barber. Reverend Barber talks about this being the third Reconstruction. He says that we need fusion politics, because as much as we'd like to do this alone, we just can't. 13% of the America's population cannot do this alone if we're going to do it inside of a legislation sort of agenda and that type of a thing. We white people who are willing, as you say, to give up that space and say, I'm willing to die on this hill with you. And we need people who understand in the black and the brown that right now it's going to be a coalition and there's a social contract between each other that we have to start to really push forward. And we saw how bad it was when we tried to get people to wear masks. They wouldn't fucking do it. Now we can't get people to wear masks. How are we going to get them to do reparations? And so we really do have to think about this as a storytelling narrative. I'm in the business of storytelling. I testified on there to say until we start to change the narrative and tell a better story, we'll have the nigger culture. And part of what we're dealing with is that we need to rebrand blackness. We need to rebrand it. We need to grab it back in whatever form. So I'm with you on all of the things that you say. We need everybody in that fight.
Everybody to lead us. That is a critique of the black community. But at the same time, we need to be realistic. That unfortunately, black folks in our community, we look to entertainers for our next move. And so that's why we need to use them as allies. We need to use them as allies to transform our culture so that we no longer look to them as our leaders and we look to people in the grassroots as the leaders.
Hey, real quick. I know y'all can come do it on my podcast. I can't wait. But we have to pass the mic. Speaking of passing the mic, we're gonna pass the mic.
Why is it important for us to understand reparations, and why is it something that can really help us? How can reparations help us? Is it something that will affect us positively or negatively?
Anybody?
I'll say the first thing, number relationship that we have with America. It is similar to a wife who has been getting beat by her husband and she refuses to leave. May have gone over some of your heads for a quick second, but let me just marinate on this. You have to be connected to your roots because you quite literally are the physical manifestation of the DNA that goes all the way down to your lineage. If you are not connected to your past, you will not be respected in your present, and you will not know what to do in the future. Every other group of people knows what has happened so that they know it should never be repeated again. And they make it clear to everyone around them that it will never be repeated again. That's why they educate themselves. That's why they make sure they know about the financial structure. They know about the religious side of things or the spiritual systems. They know about the educational field, etc., so that they can build upon what their ancestors constructed. If we do not know what they went through, if we do not know what they deserve better and what we deserve now, then we will never be respected as a people. I'm saying this from this generation. We have become too damn weak, and we don't know much about our history. And we're very happy about this at this point. But I want us all to understand this. As you continue to grow older and you want to gain more respect in this society and in the society across the planet, no one respects the people who do not embrace their own history. And we are laughed at across the planet because of that. So make sure you connect because of that reason, if no other reason at all.
Mobilizing each other and my peers to actually see reparations come to fruition.
Young brother wants to know what you do for him and his peer group to actually help out. Anybody?
Get with 5 like-minded people from college. Morehouse. 5 like-minded people from your college. Figure out what areas you are all involved in, what key areas you're studying in. Go to the highest people in those areas so that you can get the information from them, bring it back, build from where you are. If you have social media, make sure you collaborate with your social media. Figure out what local organizations pushing for reparations. Go and help them, help to push the information out, help to get more people involved. The main thing we have to do is collectively connect with one another far more. Communicate with each other, connect with one another more, and make sure you're not afraid, brother, to do this.
Right.
Because they will try to stop you. A lot of the colleges and universities make us very weak. I'm saying this on purpose. Morehouse is a very good one. Please make sure you stay strong, connect with people, and build from there.
I was just about to come in.
Yes, and just again, what Brother Rizza says, like-minded people. You have got, you say encourage, that translates a lot of time to begging. You have to be okay with moving forward. Moses, this is Sunday, I'm gonna take you there. Moses never got to the promised land because he spent time talking to slaves that even though they were free, they still refused to be slaves. He kept continually bringing down the manna, kept continually showing them the water. They refused, and Moses never made it to the promised land because he spent time talking to dead folk for 40 years. The new generation, Joshua was moving on over to the promised land. See, one thing about it, I'm not Harriet Tubman. I'm not coming back to get none of y'all. I'm gonna hold the horn one time. You either gonna come one time, or we moving on over. We have to get with the urgency of understanding that everybody ain't gonna go. And your work that you do will still benefit them, but you can't get caught up in having conversations with people that are comfortable, not being uncomfortable. You have to be okay with saying, I'm gonna get 5 people, and we're gonna take it, and we're gonna roll. And so back to, because I had to piggyback on that on entertainers, on what it means to educate. Our sister Erika does a reparations podcast year-round. So you spend time educating. A lot of these entertainers, they ain't educated year-round. A perfect example of what it should look like with celebrities. Killer Mike and 2 Chainz went and spoke to the council a couple of weeks ago. 2 Chainz got on the mic and said, 2 Chainz, and passed it on over to Killer Mike, who's been organizing. He did. He deferred his time to Killer Mike, aka Michael Render, that's been organizing since 15 years old. You can't educate nobody on this in 15 minutes. This has to come down to the organizers that actually know what the hell they're talking about. Even on this panel, I told you, man, some questions I'm gonna defer to Rizza and Tariq when it comes to history. I don't have to answer every question, but when it comes to organizing and politics, that's where I'm gonna speak up and raise my hand. So yes, we want more people who understand Erika like you do, using your platform to mobilize folks, but a lot of these celebrities and entertainers are looking for yet another gig. They're looking for yet another opportunity to be seen. They're looking for yet another opportunity to get a contract. We need people like you to go get 5 people. And it is realistic, sister, to me. It is realistic. The devil is a lie. 300 people showed up last week, on time, at 7 a.m. in Atlanta. The NAACP, the CBC couldn't get but 100 people at best in the room. And let's just tell it like it is. They showed up. So no, it's realistic. all one word, to 66866. And I'll be back the second week in Atlanta, and we're doing a training part.
Doing a reparations debate, like in the form of Buckley Baldwin, that they did in Cambridge. We're going to be going across the HBCU, starting at Bennett College, North Carolina, so all female black women's college. They're going to do the rules of engagement, get the guidebook together, and then we're going to hit it with the NC10 there, the HBCUs. Reverend Barber's going to be one of the debate coaches, Joy Reid, that's how Robert Descendants. But we need help. If you think that we can come to your university and run a debate, we want to use that analysis and data to give it to Congress to see what we learn and really make it a youth movement. So that's what you can do. Please get in contact at publicfarmmedia.com, and we'd love for you to be a part of it, your university or your college or your group. Thank you.
All right, next question.
We hired 5 economists to help us crunch the numbers for what reparations in the form of compensation might look like. In California, we had our 2-day hearing just yesterday and the day before in Los Angeles, where the economists described, again, what compensation might look like for state-sanctioned atrocities against the African-American community. You can look at our past hearings. For instance, the economist said yesterday, if you were a victim of the war on drugs in California, you could be owed by the state of California upwards to over $100,000 for each year that you were unjustly incarcerated. You could be owed, for instance, if you were a victim of housing discrimination or redlining, up to $200,000 if you were a victim between 1933 and 1977. So I'm just imputing these facts and these data to make it real to you all. This is real. This is happening in California as we speak. But I want to bring that up to state, right, that California does not have enough money in its yearly budget to close the racial wealth gap. Only the federal government can close the racial wealth gap. And at its current rate, it would take over 200 years to close the racial wealth gap between Black Americans and white Americans. And that is why reparations on a federal level is such a necessity. So it's not enough for the state of California to atone for its own atrocities. We need a federal or national movement to ensure that that racial wealth gap is closed. And to answer the previous question, yes, you can create your own organization, but you can also research, because there are existing organizations right now that are doing the work to push for reparations on a federal level. In fact, on September 30th and October 1st in Atlanta, there's an organization called the National Assembly of American Slavery Descendants, who will be hosting their inaugural summit at the National Center for Civil and Human Rights. California Secretary of State Shirley Weber will be a keynote. I'll be a panelist. I think Bernice King will also be in attendance. That is a right opportunity for you all to get engaged and get politically active in the national fight for reparations.
That gave us our doctrines of God. So when we talk about Moses, we don't know if Moses made it to the promised land or not. That's the first thing. Second thing is how, I'm not going to say that you hate them, but the passion and energy towards, like, entertainers don't know nothing, but it's an entertainer who put this on today. Which is Puff. Puff made this happen. He's an entertainer, and he's giving platform. So I feel instead of you, to me, your energy is like, oh, they don't know nothing divine. No, teach them. Instead of like, because they have the platform, whether you like it or not, because the young generation looks at it. So instead of you making a big deal out of it, like, oh, the entertainers, no, you can't actually teach them.
Let me be clear. Now, see, this is when receipts matter. The brother that put this down, Diddy, I consult him, homie. I'm his consultant. Yeah. The brothers that do, no, we got to go there. Second, when we talk about who got talent, I can freestyle value right now on this stage.
Get him,